welcome back to Gypsy in the City TV. As you can see, I'm feeling very gypsy-ish today. I was kind of playing dress up before I started filming this video. I feel like Esmeralda from The Hunchback, but then I also feel like very Latina because I feel like this is like a very Latina look. I don't know, what do you guys think? Are you feeling this look? Like, I actually need to wear this outfit like with some cute high-waisted shorts or something and sandals. Right? As you guys can see from the title of this video, this is something a little bit different that I'm doing here on my channel because it's been officially 1 year since I broke up with my boyfriend. And so this is my 1 year single-versary. Is that even a thing? Like, is single-versary, single anniversary? I don't freaking know. But basically, last year around this time in the summer, I broke up with my boyfriend, whom you guys know as Mr. Man. So let me kind of give you the backstory. So I've only ever had 2 boyfriends in my entire life, and I'm 26 years old. The first one was Art, who I dated when I was 19 years old, and he passed away in 2012. And that was like, I mean, you guys know all about that. And then my second boyfriend was Mr. Man, or you guys know him as Mr. Man, and he was obviously the first guy that I dated after Art passed away, and we dated for 2 years before we broke up. And so my breakup was really crazy. Like, I'm getting a little tired of you broken promises, looking at your pages, seeing different numbers and numbers. Even thinking about it, I'm like, wow, if I had a reality show, especially around the time that my breakup was happening, like, you guys would have been glued to the TV, because I swear it was like every single day was just like another layer. It was like such a complex breakup. It was just a lot going on, and it just really sucked because I came back from working on the cruise ships. I moved in with him. Things were good maybe like the first month and a half, and then we broke up and things just got really ugly really fast. And so I had to find a place to live. What else? It was just a lot. There was like another person involved because he actually cheated on me, and it was just a lot. Like, I was so hurt. I was so hurt. Like, loyalty means a lot to me, and the fact that he cheated on me was like, it was really heartbreaking for me. And I know I'm not the only one who has experienced this, which is exactly why I wanted to make this video, because I just wanted to share some advice and some tips on what helped me get over my breakup. Because honestly, like, at the time when everything was going on, I thought I would never get over this guy. I thought I would never get over this breakup, and look at me now. It's been a year and I am flourishing. And the really crazy part is that it feels like it's been way longer than a year. Like, it's been officially a year since we broke up, and I swear it feels like 5 years have passed just because so much has happened in that 1 year. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But yeah, like I said, my breakup was really crazy. It was really traumatic. I feel like all breakups are traumatic, especially ones that happen after you've been in a long relationship or in a long-term relationship. And I swear, when I heard the Lemonade album, I was so mad that that album did not come out last summer, because where was that album when I needed it? I needed that album last summer because I was all up in my feelings last summer. You guys don't even understand. Maybe a lot of you guys are a little shocked watching this because you're like, wow, I never would have thought that she was so hurt, that she was going through so much. I mean, I put up a pretty good front about things sometimes. Obviously, I wasn't gonna put all my business out on blast on social media, but breakups are hard. Breakups are traumatic. I knew I wanted to do like a video about my breakup, but just when I was over it and when I was ready to offer some useful information, not just like gossip, because at the end of the day, like, this video is not about my ex-boyfriend. This video is about overcoming breakups, and I feel like everything is a learning situation. Even all the bad stuff that you go through, it's like at the end of the day, you learn something from it. And from that relationship, I learned so much about myself and the things that I would like in the future in a partner. I feel like no regrets here. I learned so much, and I know that going forward, whatever relationship I have in the future is really going to benefit from this relationship because I just learned so much that I can apply into my future relationships. So I'm over it, obviously. That's why I'm making this video. If I wasn't over it and I was still in my feelings, I don't think I'd be comfortable enough to sit in front of a camera and just kind of open up about it. But I am, and I want to share with you guys what helped me get over my breakup, so that if you're currently going through a breakup, if you're feeling like you're never gonna get through it, you're never gonna get over this guy, like, because you know, we all think he's the one, and then when shit happens, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, like, we were just so perfect together, yada yada yada. Girl, if I survived my crazy ass telenovela lemonade breakup, you can survive too. You can survive. Trust me on this. So I have 11 tips on how to get over a breakup, and tip number 1 is to unfriend, block, and delete. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like out of sight, out of mind. Well, not completely when you try to apply it to the situation. I just feel like if you have them as a friend online, you're constantly gonna go be checking his pictures, you're gonna be checking what he's up to. If he's dating someone, like, you're probably gonna be upset if you go on his page and you see that he's already dating someone new or seeing pictures of another girl. I just think it's just best if you just unfriend them. And then the block and delete, it is a little bit more extreme, but I mean, I don't really know what your situation is. For me, the block and delete was just amazing. And I say it because, let's say you don't have them blocked and they're not deleted on your phone, you still have that open communication. And if you're trying to get over somebody and they're constantly communicating with you, or they're hitting you up here and there, it's like all those emotions are just being aroused again. And like, I just don't have time for that. Like, I want to get over you, and so I want no communication with you. That's just the way that I do things. Because you know how guys are, just when you think that you're finally getting over them, they find a way to slide into your voicemail, slide into your FaceTime, slide into your iMessages, slide into your DM, slide into whatever they could slide into, and be like, hey, what's up, girl?
Hey girl, how you doing? How's everything?
No, absolutely not. I swear it just reminds me of that video.
You ever just be so happy in life? Life just be so good. You be getting this money, losing weight, eating healthy, damn near vegan and shit. Edges is back like they never left, hair growing back from all the breakage, skin glowing, smiling, good job. You know, I ain't got into it with none of your girlfriends, then all of a sudden, a fuck boy wanna come into your life and fuck shit up! Leave me alone! Shit! If you ain't gonna be right, ain't gonna do right, leave me alone, bruh! Sick of this shit, I swear to God, the next nigga that break my heart gonna have to square the fuck up! I was doing so good, going to church and shit, getting right with the Lord. Me and Jesus was best friends until I met you! Nah, bitch, just cry! Like, why the fuck am I crying? Leave me alone.
When I saw this video, I was like, girl, I feel you. Unfriend, block, and delete. Do what you have to do. It helped me a lot, and I know it will help you. You just have to have the willpower to do it. But trust me, once you do it, it's like you think about it for the first few days, you're like, oh my god, I blocked him, whatever. No, you'll get over it in a week, and then you just eventually even forget about it. Also, a huge tip is do not put your business on social media. Like, do not go around bad-mouthing your ex on social media. It just looks very tacky and it's not cute. Like, nobody cares, number 1. And number 2, you don't want everybody up in your business, because God forbid that you and him get back together. Now everybody's going to be giving you the side eye, like, oh, you wasn't saying all that about him 2 weeks ago when you was blasting him on social media, and now you guys are lovey-dovey. I hate when I go online and I see that kind of stuff. Just a bit of advice, like, don't put your business out there on social media, especially if you went through a bad breakup. Nobody really needs to know about that. I shared kind of like the overall what happened, but I'm not gonna go into details because I'm just not doing that. Number 2, get yourself a breakup buddy. This is actually something that I picked up from Myleek's podcast. I don't know if you guys know who Myleek is. Myleek is the founder of Curlbox. She's an entrepreneur and she has a podcast where I'm obsessed with her podcast. If you're a young professional, especially if you're a minority and you're just trying to make it out here, like, you need to be listening to Myleek's podcast, because her podcasts are the truth. Like, I'm obsessed with her podcast, and she did a podcast about getting over a breakup because a lot of people were kind of asking her this question. And one of the things that she mentioned in this podcast that I really liked was the breakup buddy. And what a breakup buddy is one of your friends basically you can rely on for 30 days to kind of always be there for you when you just need to vent about your breakups. That is the person that you go to when you just want to like let it all out in regards to your breakup. But the key thing is that you're only doing it for 30 days. And the whole point of it is that yes, the first week like you're gonna be letting it all out. The second week it's like it's gonna feel so good, like talking all this shit about your ex and you're just releasing all those emotions. But by the third and fourth week, like you're gonna get tired of talking about your ex and you're gonna realize that no, we are not gonna be sitting here talking about this guy. Like you're gonna get tired of talking about it too. So the whole point of a breakup buddy is just that you release all those emotions, you let it all out, and then it just helps with the process of moving on. I had a few breakup buddies without even intentionally knowing it, and I'm just so thankful for my friends that were there for me, that would always check in on me, that would let me vent when I needed to, that would let me cry when I needed to, that would let me come over and stay at their house when I didn't want to be lonely. And I just really appreciate that. So definitely get yourself a breakup buddy and surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people that are only going to lift you higher, because you don't want to go from a negative situation to another negative situation for sure. Surrounding yourself with people who love you and support you is going to do so many things for you. But also keep in mind this: ask them what can you help them with. Ask them what they're going through. Ask them what problems they're having that you can help with, because when you help others with their problems, it does two things for you. Number one, it makes you forget about your own and it gives you something else to focus on other than your own problems. And number two, it really puts things into perspective for you, because either you're going to realize that your situation maybe is not as dramatic as it feels like, or you're making it seem, or you're really just going to be thankful that maybe you don't have it as bad as the other person. So just keep that in mind as well. I think that's really important when you like to give a little bit back of yourself to your friends. That's why it's so important that your breakup buddy is only like a 30-day thing. Like it cannot be past the 30 days. We cannot have that. Number 3 is travel. And this is a huge one for me. Like huge. The inner gypsy in me always kind of wants to take off whenever something crazy happens. Like I just want to get out of my environment and just like go away and come back with a refreshed mind. Keep in mind that when you travel, you're not traveling to escape your problems, because at the end of the day, when you finish your travels and you come back, your problems are still going to be there. But what you're doing is you're traveling to get a new perspective and to see things with new eyes. Sometimes we get so caught up in things that we can't even step back from it all. So traveling takes you out of the environment and puts you in a different environment, and it really opens you up to different perspective of things, so that when you go back to the situation, you're seeing things from a fresh new set of eyes, you're seeing things from a different perspective, and it really does a lot for the soul. Like I remember in the midst of my breakup, like I couldn't take it anymore, and I just looked up flights to go to Florida, because as you guys know, my mom lives in Florida and my other brothers and sisters live there as well. I looked up flights to Florida. I booked the flight that same week, and I left for like a week or two. I don't remember exactly how long, but I stayed with friends and family for like maybe the first few days, and then the rest of my time there I spent it at one of my favorite Airbnbs in St. Petersburg that is close to the water, and it has a pool, and it's just relaxing, and it was literally exactly what I needed. I was hurting while I was there, trust and believe, but when I came back to the situation, I just came back with a much clearer head, a much clearer mind, and you know, it was just exactly what I needed. So if you guys can, just travel. Even if you can't jump on a plane, maybe go to the next town over and spend a weekend there. Go by yourself if you have to. I went by myself and it was exactly what I needed. If you don't want to go alone, go with a girlfriend, whatever you have to do. But I feel like traveling really helps a lot. If you can take like 2 weeks vacation somewhere, do it. If you can't, then take like a little staycation or travel to the next town over. But traveling does really help a lot. It definitely helped me and it soothed my soul. It was much needed. Number 4 is the blame game. And I feel like there's different stages to a breakup, just like there's different stages to like grieving. For example, when somebody passes away, you go through the different stages of grief. I don't know if you guys have heard that. I feel like it's very similar when it comes to a breakup. And one of the stages that you go through with a breakup is the blame stage, right? So first you start to blame the other person. it was your fault why things didn't work out. You did this, you're that, you're a liar, you're a cheater, you're this, whatever. You start just like nitpicking at the other person and all the little mistakes that they've done, and then you take that and you point it to yourself and you start blaming yourself for all the things that you could have done, that you should have done, and you literally start to drive yourself crazy. Doing that does not help whatsoever. You have to stop doing that. You have to get out of your head. You have to let go of the negativity, and you can't hold a grudge. Even as hard as it is, especially if you went through a really nasty breakup, you can't hold a grudge. You can't. You just can't. Don't hate your ex forever, and don't go around telling people how bad of a person he is. Like, because all you're doing is just putting more negativity out there, and I'm a firm believer that you get what you put out. So if you're putting out all that negative energy, that stuff is gonna come right back to you, and then it's gonna take you forever to get over this freaking guy. Don't let your ex have that control over you. Release those negative emotions and embrace the possibilities of a future love and happiness instead. The next tip is accepting, and I feel like this is really the hard one, because after you're done with the whole blame game, then you try to figure out ways to get this person back, or if you could have done this differently, or whatever the case may be. Just accept that it happens. There's a Kanye lyric from a song that he has called, heard him say that, he says, they say people in your life are like seasons, and everything that happens is for a reason. I firmly believe that people in your life are like seasons. That relationship served its course. That person served their purpose in your life, and now it's time to let them go. Let go of the people who no longer are serving a purpose in your life. Relationships end for a reason. One of you wasn't happy because you weren't getting what you wanted, so it didn't work out. Accept that the relationship ended, and now you have a fresh start to do it right the next time, using all of the things that you learned from that previous relationship. Number 6, unhappy hour. If you guys been following me for a while, you already know about this. Basically, you need to honor your emotions, and a lot of us, when we go through traumatic experiences, or when we just go through bad times, we tend to bottle up all those feelings and kind of shove them in the back of our head and try to forget about it, but that really serves you no purpose. Like, you need to honor your feelings, and you need to work through those feelings in order for you to continue to push through. Let's say that something triggers you and now you're all up in your feelings. Instead of like just trying to forget about it and move on, just honor those feelings. Have an unhappy hour. So for 1 hour, you're gonna cry, you're gonna kick, you're gonna scream, whatever you're feeling at the time, you're going to release for that hour, and that 1 hour only. And once the hour is up, you're going to get up, you're gonna wipe those tears away, you're going to keep it moving, and that's it. You're only going to dedicate 1 hour to that. And if that means that you have to have an unhappy hour every single day because you just need to work through your emotions, then have your unhappy hours every single day and work through those emotions. But do not give it more than 1 hour. Do not let it have that power over you. For me, it helped a lot having a playlist, and I would listen to this playlist during my unhappy hour. So I have a playlist on Spotify called In My Feelings. It's private, so don't even try to go look for it. And I have like all these different songs that this is when you're really going through it. These are the stages of a breakup, broken down in different songs. You gotta let them F-boys know that you're not the one. No more, baby, I'll do it right.
Till I get my money right. We're just ordinary people.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
I'm just saying you could do better.
In my heart, so I can see that you never were the best for me.
Shit I did, but darling, y'all intimate. Who was better? I know I was. Can we stay broken up and all these pages close them up? I hope we both do learn from this. So my next don't gotta be so rough. Gotta get better with time. Relationships should never rewind.
This one right here though is when your heart can't take it no more.
Baby, you don't pay no mind. Won't you be then don't talk to me?
was in my feelings. I cried a lot with that playlist. I cried a lot. I remember I was listening to this playlist when I was packing up all my shit to move out of his apartment, and I was just like, I was in my feelings, okay? Tip number 7 is to journal. I don't know if you have a current journal now, but if you don't, you should definitely buy one. And the reason why journaling is important is because it reminds you of situations that you've been in and situations that you've overcome. When I go into my journal and I look at the things that I've written in the past, it takes me back to that experience. It also reminds me that I overcame that. I got through that. Whatever I was writing at the time, and however much it hurt me and however much it saddened me, I got through it. And just how you got through that, you're gonna get through this. So that's why journaling, I feel like, helps a lot, because it just gives you a boost of confidence in knowing that if you overcame other situations, that you can definitely overcome this. And it's kind of nice to look back and reflect at all the things you've accomplished and how far you've made it. So whenever you start to feel like you're not going to get over this breakup or you're not going to get through the situation, just go back into your journal and look at all the things that you've overcome, and girl, you got this. Number 8, working out. I know working out sucks, especially when you first start. Like when you're first starting to get back into the groove of working out, it freaking sucks. Like I've been trying to get back into the groove of working out for like almost a month and a half now, and I have a damn trainer, and it just sucks. It just sucks. But once you get into the groove, it's like it changes everything. A lot of us, when we go through breakups, when we're going through stressful times, we either tend to not eat or we tend to overeat. Exercising really helps because it releases those natural endorphins that will really help you and boost you and put you in a better mood. Not only that, it helps with your overall confidence, because once you work out, you really do start to feel better from the inside out, and then you start looking better from the outside as well. So that's definitely gonna give you a boost. And who knows, you might just find yourself a new boo at the gym. Like, don't start doing yoga to get over your breakup. No, to get over your breakup, you need to be doing kickboxing. You need to be doing something intense, because most likely you have all this bent up anger, you have all these emotions that are just bottled up inside of you, and you need to release that. And you know, you're not going to release all that in yoga doing a downward dog. You need to Number 9, don't scheme to get him back, scheme to get yourself back. So this is your time. This is your prime time. Oh my goodness, being single is such a beautiful thing. I know that people have so many, you know, like nobody wants to be lonely. Who doesn't want to be in a relationship? At the end of the day, relationships are a lot of work. They truly are a lot of work, and you really have to be committed to make things work. And just how being in a relationship has its pros, it also has its cons. But also being single has its pros and it has its cons. The pro that it definitely has is that obviously you have a lot more time in your hands, which means that now you have more time to work on the things that you're passionate about, to discover the things that you're passionate about, to discover new things about you that perhaps you didn't know before. Take that trip with your girlfriends that you've always wanted to take. Go on that vacation to Thailand that you only dreamed of. Use this time to rediscover your hobbies, or maybe discover new ones, and get in tune with who you are, especially now that you're getting older, because maybe that relationship that you were in was at a different time period in your life. Maybe you were a little younger, you were a little naive, you were a little bit more inexperienced. Now that you've grown up a little bit, you're a completely different person. So take the time to date yourself. Get to know who you are at this very moment in your life. And I promise you, it will be one of the best things you've ever done. I feel like I'm a completely different person than I was last year around this time. And I just feel like every single day I'm just learning new things about myself. And it's really a beautiful time. Number 10, take your time. I feel like this one is probably one of the most important ones out of everything that I mentioned, because no one can predict how long it's going to take you to get over someone. I feel like the longer that you were in the relationship, the longer it takes for you to get over that person. There's no scientific research or anything that can say how long it's going to take you to get over someone, which is why you need to take your time. Don't beat yourself up about it if you're still thinking about this person and it's been longer than a year. Just don't do that to yourself. I know for me, like, this was something that I was personally doing, and I really just had to stop and be like, no, Ada, you can't do this. Because let's see, we broke up in July of last year, and it was like February, and I remember like still crying about it, and I would get mad at myself, like, why am I still crying about this guy? Like, this is so annoying. I'm so annoyed. No, like, I know there'll come a time where I think about him and I'm not gonna feel neither love or hate. It's just gonna be neutral. And that's exactly how I feel now, and it is literally the best feeling ever. Like, when I think about him, I don't think anything bad and I don't think anything good. It's just very neutral. I'm doing so good right now. Everything happens for a reason, and that was exactly what I needed to happen in my life. I am just so happy with the way that my life is headed at the moment, and I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful. At the time you think that this is the worst thing that could have happened to me, and then you look back and you're like, no, that was the best thing that could have happened to me. Relationships are hard, breakups are even harder, and you know, they're very traumatic. How can you love someone so much but then hate them at the same time? Like, I remember having so much anger that at one point I had to pray to God to remove that anger from my heart, because I couldn't even sleep. And that's scary. That's why when you watch these damn snap shows, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. No, believe it, because there comes a time where you get pushed to such a limit that you just literally, you freaking snap. Because I swear, like, I was so angry at one point that literally, like, I could feel the blood rushing to my veins. Look at me now, flourishing, living life. I'm good. It's all good. What's up? And last but not least, date. This is the one that I'm still kind of struggling with, just because I just kind of have to push myself out there. I have to put myself out there. I have to get out of my comfort zone. Take your time off, do your thing, focus on yourself, but get back into the game. Like, don't let this stop you from any future possibilities of love, you know? Don't let this dampen your spirit. Don't let this dampen your hope of ever finding that one perfect person for you. One thing that Myleik said in her podcast, the one that I had mentioned before, was that, you know, date people that you normally wouldn't date. In your head, you're like, I don't want to date anybody. I don't want to be in a relationship. You're like thriving on single mode, right? So she says to go out of your way to date people that you normally wouldn't date, because you never know. Like, how do you know what you want and what you don't want if you don't try it, right? So go ahead and date people that you normally wouldn't date. Step a little bit out of your comfort zone. If somebody invites you out, don't turn them down. I definitely agree with this. Don't hold yourself back. If somebody wants to take you out, go out with them. Why not? You're not gonna get married to them. Don't close yourself off, because that's really not doing any good for you. Flirt a little, go out for drinks, have fun, live a little. I'm definitely in that stage right now, and I'm really liking it. I actually need to put myself out there a little bit more. I've been giving guys my email lately. I don't know where the hell I got that from. I really don't know who I think I am giving people my email, but I don't know. I just don't want to deal with like the whole text messaging back and forth. I'm really gonna try to commit to engaging in more conversation and not just giving them my number and then being like, oh well, I didn't really feel anything, so I'm just not gonna hit him up. Like, I really need to put myself out there more. If you're watching this right now and you're going through a breakup and you just feel like you're never gonna get over this guy and that this is like the worst thing that could ever happen to you and oh my God, what are you gonna do? Girl, trust and believe me when I tell you that if I made it through my lemonade / telenovela breakup, that you will too. I promise you. And things will get better, because feelings are never permanent. They are not facts. They are never permanent. You're not gonna feel like that for the rest of your life. You're gonna go through the emotions, you're gonna feel everything out, but you will get through. What is the absolute worst thing that has ever happened to you ever besides this breakup? Like, you got through that, right? So that means that you're gonna get through this breakup. For me, it was Art's death. He passed away in 2012, and if I could get through the summer of 2012, I could get through any damn thing. Okay, and here I am, thriving, flourishing, living. God is good. Life is good. Guys, just know that you will get through it. I hope that these tips help you. Those of you who have overcome a breakup, I think you guys should leave a comment below, a comment of encouragement, of positivity to someone that is going through a breakup right now and is watching this video to hopefully get through it. Leave them a comment below. Let's share some love. Let's share some positivity, because at the end of the day, this is something that we all go through, not just my personal experience. This is something that all of us go through. We need to be supporting each other. We need to be sharing our experiences. We need to be sharing our tips. So I hope that these tips help you in some way. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye. Trust me when I tell you, you are gonna overcome this breakup. You are gonna come out of this flourishing and thriving. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Leave a comment, like this video. Thank you so much for watching.